Hi, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our warm, sunny day. Second day in a row, we had wind that I wasn't really expecting. The peak wind gust from the east out along the Columbia River out at PDX was 37 miles per hour. So that's humming pretty good. Of course, it's that east wind that also plays a factor in the warming that we had today, plays a factor in the clear skies and the warm temperatures all the way off of the beach. So I'm going to share you some of those high temperatures today in a moment, as today's day one of it looks like 3 days in a row, at least for inland valleys, of really warm temperatures for this time of the year. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from the Portland, Vancouver area. So the big story, the ridging over here on the left started to build in today. Valley hot start to your weekend. It still looks like we could hit 90 around Portland and other parts of the I-5 corridor tomorrow. Still looks like on Sunday, Mother's Day at the beach could look like this, and that's lots of clouds, some fog, maybe some mist, and temperatures in the 60s. Again, this is Mother's Day at the beach. So kind of the theme for what we're talking about over the next couple of days as we track the warm pattern and what the wind flow patterns are going to be doing. So here's the way it looks on an upper level wind chart today. Excuse me, upper level pressure chart is what I meant to say at 500 millibars or 18,000 feet. Today, the upper level ridge at its strongest at 582 millibars with this big high kind of nosing inland. This will be a similar pattern tomorrow, but the pressure height's not quite as strong. Nonetheless, it was an east surface wind today. It'll be an east surface wind tomorrow. And then by Sunday, remember Sunday, we have the cooling coming to the coast, and it won't be as warm, although I still think sunny, but not as warm in the inland valley. Look at the difference. Big ridge today, also into tomorrow. On Sunday, there's actually a weak trough that comes in. So the pressure heights go from 582 millibars to 572 millibars, and you can definitely tell really warm, not as warm, but still on Sunday, overall pretty pleasant once you get away from any low marine clouds at the coast. You folks up in Cowlitz County might, in fact, see some low cloudiness Sunday morning as well. Okay, overall, I don't have a lot of changes to talk about. Here's a look at the records today. The PDX high looks like it's going to go in the book at 83. The record 87, 83 matches my forecast for today. Tomorrow's the one day that I think we have a good chance of breaking a record. The record's 89. I'm forecasting 90. Saturday, I think we'll stay in the upper 80s in Portland. The record's 91. And by Mother's Day, we're back down only around 80. And the record is 90 degrees set last year and what was the warmest May on record. And remember, last May of 2023 also set the record for 5 90-degree days. Wow. Here's my update real quick to your coast weekend. If you're thinking about sunny skies, east wind, let's go to the beach. Well, tomorrow there will be 80-degree temperatures at the coast with the east wind and the sunshine. Saturday, 67 to 77, still sunny, switching to a west wind flow, still warm, but not as warm. And then by Sunday, we talked about the clouds, maybe some fog, maybe some mist, maybe some areas get kind of, locked into low clouds all day with temperatures in the 60s. So again, that's your forecast at the coast. Before we get into the reports, and I want to show you today's high temperatures, a quick shout out to the Momentous Wealth podcast. You can find this podcast for financial advice on investing in Apple Podcast and on Spotify. This is brought to you by the team at Momentous Wealth Management located in Vancouver. They license in both Oregon and Washington. Todd Pisarchik's team do a great job, and you'll find their podcast educational. If you're like me, you want to learn more about what your money and all of your mutual funds is doing and how much you're going to need someday to retire. So thank you, the Momentous Wealth Podcast team. Okay. This is small, so you may not be able to read it, but I load it so I can read it to you. At 525, these are the unofficial high temperatures for today. Astoria, 78. Florence, 78. Kessel, 80. Vancouver and Portland, 83. Troutdale, 83. Hillsborough, 81. McMinnville, 80. Salem McNary Field, they're having a problem with that reporting site. It's not reporting. Corvallis, 80. Eugene, 79. You run down to Medford, it was 83 degrees. Brookings hit 85. That was a warm spot in the state. North Bend hit 70. Over in Central Oregon, it was warm too. Meacham and the Blues hit 64. Bend 72. Hermiston 81 today. The Dalles 83 out in the gorge. John Day 70. Sisters over in Central Oregon, 66. Sun River, 63. Just beautiful, beautiful weather. Up in Seattle, SeaTac Airport hit 73. So they were 10 degrees cooler than Portland. Usually you get these warm spells like this, not always, but often. Seattle's a good 5 degrees warmer. Today they're actually 10 degrees. I'm sorry. Seattle is often 10 degrees cooler than Portland. Today, Seattle was actually 10 degrees cooler than Portland. Hey, I want to run through a couple of posts with the weather forecast not really changing much. I want to show you some headlines I found interesting. This is the National Weather Service, and on their Facebook page, they just sent out a warning saying, be prepared for cold water with temperatures warm today, tomorrow, Saturday. People running out to the rivers. A lot of those river temperatures are still in the 40s, so certainly no warmer than 50 degrees. That's dangerously cold should you get stuck out in the cold water. Also, the streams, because of the rains we had late April and the first part of May, the rivers and streams are all still running really swift and really high. That, along with the fact that they're still cold this time of the year, makes that water dangerous. So, FYI on that. And then Weather Service put this out. I found this interesting. So, the average first 80-degree day of the year for Portland is May 8th. That was yesterday. Today we did it this year for the first time, hitting 83. So we were right on average. The average for Salem, May 10th, Eugene, May 10th. How about the average first 90-degree day, which Portland may do tomorrow? The average is June 18th. The earliest is April 30th. So we're not out of bounds on that. Most of the records are around 90 this time of the year. Salem, your average for the first 90-degree day, June 19th. Eugene is actually a little bit later in the season, June 25th. So that's kind of interesting. And then one more headline. Check out this. This would be a Saturday night geomagnetic storm watch. And read this. Multiple ejections or eruptions on the sun associated with flare activity are going to be giving us the chance to see the northern lights. So wouldn't that be something? This article up here goes on to say that with clear skies in the forecast, the aurora borealis or northern lights may be visible this coming Saturday. What's today? The 9th. Tomorrow's the 10th. This would be, there's a geomagnetic storm watch for May 11th. That's Saturday, which would start local time, they're saying, at 5 p.m. on May 10th. So that's tomorrow evening. With clear skies, the aurora borealis or northern lights potentially visible across parts of northwestern Oregon and southwestern Washington. Go to spaceweather.gov for more information. That's easy to remember, spaceweather.gov for more information. So that's really interesting. And that comes on the heels of this post, which you can find. This is linked to the full article on my Portland Weather Facebook page. And they're talking about this large sunspot right in here. Get this. They're saying this spot on the sun right here is 15 times the size of the Earth. I know no more about this than you do, and maybe less. I'm really just finding it interesting and posting this. 15 times the size of the Earth and larger than what is an historic large sunspot that dates back to 1859. How they spotted this in 1859, I have no idea. But wow. But that's interesting. And now we've got that potential to see some northern lights in parts of the Pacific Northwest over the weekend. Okay, so I mentioned that no big changes. The 7 days still all dry. These are the 5 o'clock temps, 80 in Salem, 82 in Portland after seeing a high of 83. Let's click on Seattle's forecast. Everybody's dry. 82 tomorrow. They were only in the 70s today, so that's a big warm up tomorrow. 82, 83 Saturday, 74 on Mother's Day. And then the cool off still showing up the first part of next week. Monday, 65 in Seattle, Tuesday at 66 degrees. Okay, let's go over into Central Oregon. 70 right now. Big warm up in the next couple of days. Bend, 79 Friday, 83 Saturday, 80 Sunday. And there's that cool down into the mid 70s Monday and Tuesday. Let's go into Salem. 87 tomorrow, 85 Saturday, 77 on Mother's Day. That's a noticeable cool down. And then only about 71 on Monday and Tuesday. That's Salem. I think Eugene's probably about the same. 72 to start next week, Monday, Tuesday. 86 tomorrow. Not as warm as Portland. You go down to North Bend. Some of you say you watch us from the Southern Oregon coast. 76 tomorrow, 67 on Saturdays. Wind switch more to the west, and only 60 on Mother's Day. Now, I will tell you that a lot of the weather models show at least Sunday morning up and down the entirety of the coast. There's a good chance of low clouds and fog, so we'll see. But that's what the North Bend forecast is looking like right now. And if you click on, just go up to Newport, 76 tomorrow, 67 Saturday, 60 on Sunday with at least a chance of low cloudiness in the morning as well. Okay. What about up on the mountain right now? 48 at Timberline, 60 at Meadows. There's Government Camp, 60 degrees as well. Of course, all the passes are clean. Again, 60 at 4,000 feet at Government Camp. They're going 70s tomorrow, Saturday, 66 Sunday, and then 50s on Monday, Tuesday. Really warm. If you're going to be recreating up on Mount Hood this weekend, do not overdress. Holy cow, it's going to be big time shorts weather for the most part. All right, here's my forecast for the Rose City, courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros. We'll go 90 tomorrow. Again, the record's 89. I'm not sure if we're going to make 90 or not. I think we'll either just make it or 91 at the absolute hottest, or we'll stay more like 88. Saturday, 88 degrees, and I might be too warm. I really don't think we hit 90 on Saturday. So 88, maybe only 86. Mother's Day, right around 80, a noticeable cool off, but still I like our chances of hitting 80 degrees. I double checked my notes. Yeah. Actually, Sunday's air mass is pretty similar to today's air mass if you look at the indices. And then Monday, 74, Tuesday, 71. There may be morning clouds Monday and or Tuesday mornings. And then we stay dry, and I've got us back up to 80 on Thursday of next week. So that is your update. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, that helps me out. Please do so. Again, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. My weather site I use and I post my 7-day on is portlandweather.com, and I will talk to you soon.